Mzanzi with Fatso. And in case you have not done it yet, please remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share. Alright, so today I am with Naledi, who is the founder as well as the owner of Ross Greene Clothing. Joel.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. How are you? What's up?
No, fantastic. Yeah. I'm all. Thank you guys. I'm actually very honored to be here.
Where does Joel come from? What did he do?
All right. So born and raised in Limpopo. Okay. So Motu. All right. So started a lot of mechanical engineering background, and I studied in TUT. So that is back in 2002. Graduated.
What inspired Ross Greene Clothing?
Well, I was on the internet, right, on that same day when I actually discovered myself, right?
Okay.
So when I realized that Polo and Lauren are totally different, right? So now I had like a cologne, right? Ralph Lauren, Polo, right? And what do you call it? Polo, South Africa.
Ralph who?
Ralph Lauren.
Ralph. Who's that?
Okay, so in fact, how Ralph Lauren did everything. So he used to sponsor the polo sport, right? In the US. So if you read about him, so eventually it ended up being a pony on the clothing, like it used to be here, right? So everyone started buying that because it was an expensive sport at that point in time. Obviously ancient and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So yeah, well, I used to wear that a lot, and so when I grew up, when at that moment, in fact, when I'm telling you about the summer time, so I took both, Ralph Lauren and Polo South. Just come back and then compare the two, and I'm like, okay, so the one pawn is facing this direction, the other pawn is facing this direction. So which is which here? You understand what I mean? And I'm saying to myself, I need to wear my own where Ross Greene was buried.
The brand is Ross Greene Clothing.
Correct, yeah.
Why not call it Joel Naledi Clothing?
Yeah, so yeah. It's a nice one. It's a nice tea at work, right? Quality department, then I moved into production, right? So I think God works in a mysterious way, right? So managing people was something very profound, and I think, well, that God wanted me to be in that section, right? So at certain times I went through a very painful process, well, personally, right? And then I was admitted for quite a while. This doctor was just very closer to me at that point in time. And I think he sort of like understood what is inhuman, you know. I had a call with him the other day and I said, like, hey, dude, I'm thinking of doing this 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can do it. You know what I mean? You're like, you can do it. You are well. You know what I mean? Despite, what you've been going through, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, you endorsing. So somehow you really need that external endorsement to go through what like to step in something else, right? So yeah, well, I mean, the doctor, Ross Greene, was the person that actually...
So the doctor's name is Ross Greene.
Yes.
That you went through. It also links to how you use the eagle as the brand, as the logo on your clothes.
So my inspiration grew up into, you can go anywhere in the world. You can be anything in the world. Right? So when you see the Mirage, it's sort of like the sun set, but there's literally something like this. So it's something like this. It's a sunset, right? But what can fly there? What can go and take you there? It's actually the key.
Here I am, in natural. Despite what I've been through, I can do it.
Yeah, that's definitely.
The sky's not the limit.
The sky's not the limit. You know what I mean? So so inspiration of the Mirage.
Ross Greene, which year did it start?
So it actually started in 2015.
So you've been in the business for about 5 years now.
Yeah, of course, yes.
And what do you have in your range?
Okay, so at this point in time, we've got sneakers. Right, and then we've got golf shirts. So we're clothing you from from here, I also have sneakers, which are very classy and are very potent. I'm just gonna call it that. You know what I mean? So as class and stuff.
Classy, no, very classy.
Yeah.
So do you also cater for women? Because I see more the male is dominating.
Yeah. So in fact, what we our brand is actually unisexual.
Where can we get the products?
Okay, so at this point in time, the product is actually, we're on all social media, right? So you can get us in rgcl.co.za, right? That's our online store. We on Facebook, it's Ross Greene, right? On Twitter, we Ross Greene CL, right? Ross Greene CL. And on Instagram, it's Ross Greene CL as well, right? So you'll get us there. And then we basically deliver anywhere in the country.
In the country.
Yes.
Your price range. Okay, before we get to the price range, right? In terms of your sneakers, I mean, these are like very, very, very proper sneakers.
Yeah.
Like the quality is absolutely on point. The finished product is amazing.
Yeah.
So do you get them? Do you start them from scratch? What goes on in the production of the sneakers?
Okay, so all right. So how we do with things, right? So we've since we are clothing brand, right? So we work with people that actually does like the manufacturing.
Yeah.
However, we define our standard, which means like our slogan is actually superior quality clothing brand, right? SQCB, right? So this is basically where most important things are starting up, right? So whatever the material we select ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And we make sure that it's been tested, quality approved, before we can actually send it to the consumer. So the material is not there anymore. But if you look at the ancient design and creation of that material, right? It's very profound, it's very high quality, right? So now our golf shirts is based on that, and we're still sourcing the very ancient material.
The
original, the
Makoya.
Makoya, you know what I mean? Yeah, the Makoya, which is 100% cotton, pig cotton, and with no inclusion of other materials and stuff and everything. So yeah, you get our golfers, so they very lasting, and the color still stays. You know what I mean? Even after a couple of washes, you're still gonna have that. The texture is still there. You know, the quality is still there.
The color is still there.
The color is still there. You know,
it's not slanting. You know, one corner is.
You know what I mean? No. It's exactly what it is. The way, exactly. You know. So yeah, so that's how we basically started.
Ross Greene, like you guys are really taking a serious stride into making sure that you give the consumers quality products, you know, because I think one of the reasons why I feel like black businesses are not supported, or black produced, South African produced products are not supported, it goes with the quality. And on top of that, happily the effort that one puts into actually manufacturing this.
Yeah, a whole lot of challenges are that a whole people in the industry itself sourcing the materials, right? Yeah. So South Africa itself is very lean in terms of getting all the materials that you want, right? So you need to engage yourself with a whole lot of people that are actually doing that, right? So we went as far as traveling to Swaziland, traveling to Lesotho, where a whole lot of products are being made, right? So we travel, like locally in
China fair.
No,
China.
South Africa, literally, South Africa is capable. South Africa is capable. We've got everything we want. We've got everything we need in here, right? So yeah, I think we need to explore more internally ourselves, and then I think the growth is in there.
You have a mechanical engineering background.
Yes.
And then you moved to clothing.
Yeah.
So you're still doing both.
I'm still doing both, yeah.
And because I can imagine just being an entrepreneur, pushing your own hustle, that in itself is time consuming. So how do you manage to balance these two?
Technology that we have at this point in time, it is you are allowed to to sort of communicate with the people that you are actually working with. At the same time, it afforded me time to actually think and conceptualize on what my goals are.
When you started your business, did you have startup capital coming out of your own pocket, or did you seek funding from somewhere?
Okay, so what I did is that I saved money.
Saved.
Yeah.
Save.
So now, you sort of like, okay, so how much will cost me? Do business analysis, right? Understand what you want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? And then how much money? It's the same thing, like when you like banks, how they do, right? They will say they will fund you for a 400,000 car, right?
Yeah.
And then they will say this is how much you need to in 5 years. So now, 2015, I mean, it's been years and years, right?
Yeah.
So you can imagine where we're coming from saving from them, you understand? 20 Rand is more important. When you sell something, right, you need to save that profit to multiply going forward, you understand what I mean? So a whole lot of stuff, it actually started there when you actually save a lot of money to keep up for yourself. You understand?
And then how do you deal with the stigma of, someone asks you, they see your sneaker, like, hey man, that looks great, like so nice, it's still a guy. And you're like, no, I do it. How much? Or even in your inboxes, someone sees a picture like, hey, how much is it? Like, it's what, 1,500.
1,500.
1,500. 1.5. And then someone's like, no, that's too expensive.
Yeah.
Like, no, like, who, why would do that all?
Yeah.
At home,
Actually,
how do you do that? Because that's like...
Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, you get that a lot, right? So, in fact,
So like, no, man, I mean, like, sneaker, it's 1.7. Whenever you come here with your sneaker, you want to say 1.5.
Wait.
So you guys are like on the same,
Yeah.
And they don't realize it's actually about the quality. This is quality.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I mean, this is something that a lot of people need to know. We're investing in that so that they can actually, like, when they buy stuff, it has to last for some longer time. You would notice if you go to our Instagram, it's a sneakers that will last you for longer. It's a clothing brand that will last you longer. So that's why we actually we're going through this process of qualifying our stuff before it can get to you. And our customer service as well. You know what I mean? So if you really have any issues, we're there to help. We are there to understand what you're going through.
Nice.
And then, we take the product, we learn from the mistakes. I'm not saying that we're perfect, right? There's never perfect. Well,
there's always room to learn, room to
improve,
grow, room to improve.
Yeah, exactly. You know what?
Yes,
exactly. That's where we are. Anyway. So in terms of pricing, our sneakers are high quality, right? And it's classy.
That's, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Seen it, felt it, touched it, it's quality.
And, when you said to me, I can't wait to actually.
Because I was like, maybe this guy ought to shoot them. Maybe they're not the way, but they're actually the way.
You know what I mean? Exactly. That's what we're trying. We're doing that to make sure that this nation actually grows. We're one of those people that we wanted to see South Africa grow as a country. We want a home ground. Things are made here. We want to grow our
economy. We need to embrace it.
Yeah, exactly.
In the long term, where do you see Ross Greene?
When we started, right? So we say that 1 out of 10 will be wearing Ross Greene. And we might change that to say 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. So we're going to build it our container store.
And where will it be?
It will be in Social Mzanzi.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we're doing it in Social Mzanzi. Our container store, we'll start it up there, right? And then we'll franchise it throughout, right? So, in the country, in every province. Easy access, yeah. I could contact for someone from Lesotho.
I know.
I'm telling you, this guy.
International.
I'm telling you. This guy was like, no, I'm pushing Ross Greene this side.
Wow.
I want you to bring me more. And I was like, okay, so cool.
Wow.
Can we have a container? That side. And I'm like, dude, if you can do that, happy. So now, this is where we're going into. 1 one is that we will be doing that, and secondly, then we will be looking into franchising, because obviously it needs to be managed in a business way. You know what I mean? So obviously, franchising means that we will make the product our own way, our quality way, with people that are involved, and then we'll distribute it so people can actually have, the taste and feel of Ross Greene, the quality of the clothing brand that they need, that they have, on hand. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Someone once said, if you're a real entrepreneur, right, you don't require money to start a business.
Yes.
What are your views and opinions on that statement?
I think passion, that's number one, right? You need to believe in what you do.
But can I really start a business without money?
No, you can't.
You can't?
Yeah, you can't.
So if I don't have the money myself, then I need to source the money somewhere else for me to start it?
Not necessarily.
Because quite understand that this statement,
the whole entire scenario, I'm going to bring it down to you.
Yeah,
it's very easy.
Because I think that's an entrepreneur is sitting there, right?
Yeah.
And they hear such things. They say, someone's like, no, if you don't have money, if you're a real entrepreneur, you will be able to start your business without money.
Yeah, that's true, right? That's also another truth to part of it, right? So
take it away.
Okay, yeah. So definitely, to start up, you really need money, right? If you don't have money, there's so many means to actually try to fund the business that you're actually into, right? So one is that we've got government, institutions that can actually help. But more over and above that, I think the most important thing is that you need to understand how to save money. If you've got a product that you sell, and then you sort of like sell and you make profit, the profit you need to start thinking about multiplying.
Well, back into the business.
Into the business.
Don't go buy yourself a pouch bag.
I mean, like, and a whole lot of people actually think that you're going to start and then you have a business and then boom, and then you go on. It doesn't. I mean, like, we in 2015, we're talking about how many years now? And then we're into this, right? We've never gave up. We've been investing every single cent back into the business. So it's basically how it actually works. So money is important. You need to learn how to use money. It's more important.
No, it's not. I won't say it's a trend, but I would say that a lot of, when you think South African, buy South African products, most people have decided to branch into clothing. Do you think this is going to create a situation in the market, or is there enough share for all the brands that are coming?
Yeah, I think the clothing industry, it's going to grow, right? If you're looking at into in the past, so locally we've been striving and struggling. You would notice immediately after the coronavirus. Yeah. So a lot of manufacturers, they've closed out and you understand what I mean? So in a way, we are doing it now in introducing brands, is that we want to start supporting the foundation of that, right? Okay. So another thing, we are well within position at this point in time for us to be able to, you've got a farm that is doing something. You know what I mean? Then you are here, you are able to market and you sell, right? As long as it's a good quality, then you do. And I think in a broader space, we are going in the right direction.
Ross Greene as an entity.
Yep.
Are you guys involved in any community development project?
With the project that we are into right now, we've just identified an artist that is actually into hip hop, right? So it's got a very classic songs that are coming through. It's got like 12 songs that are on Naledi. And what we're doing with friends, so we sort of like trying to promote him into getting a music video, hopefully, and I know that it's going to be in YouTube. Are
there any future projects that Ross Greene, is going to
focus on? Yes, we sort of like the most important thing that we're doing. My daughter. Okay, so she's into design, clothing design.
Right? So it runs in the family.
It's actually in the family.
It's a family affair.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's into, in 2 years, we've applied for her into this Ackerman's scholarship. She's done it, right? And then now it's the second round that she's going to be doing it again and stuff and everything. Also, we've got another brand that is Simon M. Simon M, right? So, which we've been launching. So most projects will be trying to get all the, like local brand into our shops and stuff and everything. So I think it was due diligence to make sure that, like even the young kids that are coming through and trying to do, like clothing, and they need to be part of it.
Oh wow! Well, guys, I learned a lot today. It's quality, and I think also I also got some motivational tips in here, because Joel is very Joel what's up, very motivational talk. So beautiful people at home, I hope you really enjoyed the interview. Bye.
This is Ross Greene, your boy Joel Naledi here. So we basically pushing the Ross Greene Clothing brand. It's our brand. You can actually get it in Soshanguve, Mamelodi, everywhere in South Africa. So we deliver nationwide. So we all are there, right? So support this brand, right? So it's high quality, inspired by Mirage. Our slogan, it says that Ross Greene is a clothing brand inspired by Mirage, carefully tailored to provide comfort, fit, and style, made for individuals with unlimited dreams. So you can get us in YouTube, Twitter, on Instagram. You can get us on Facebook. Ross Greene Clothing. Just search us. You get us there, right?
Ross Greene. Wabona ngisheleka kuwe nice. Ross Greene. Quality brand, affordable price. Ross Greene. Looking so cool, ungareke icy. Ross Greene. I'm the eagle, let me fly. Ross Greene. Wabona ngisheleka kuwe nice. Ross Greene. Quality brand, affordable price. Ross Greene. Looking so cool, ungareke icy. Ross Greene. I'm the eagle, let me fly. Ikuba jama parafela, ka fashion is cantelela. Look at my shoes, kishapa ka sneakers are genuine leather. Ross Greene on my body, kuba jedi answanela. Let me pose for a pic, bro, kisha camera. Snap, 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 snap. Ikuba jama can't get. Hey, hey.